Hey everyone, today on League of Legends Minis I wanted to talk about Jayce. Jayce is a really unique and versatile champion who can be played as a marksman, poke-oriented caster, or close-range brawling fighter, or a combination of all of those. One of his biggest weaknesses, aside from being mana-starved, is that his abilities are really telegraphed. All of his abilities have big, loud visual and audio effects, which makes it easy to react to. On top of that, the cooldown of his ultimate locks you into that form for up to 6 seconds, so it's really easy to predict how he'll be played since the two forms are drastically different. It's hard to make his form switching playstyles less telegraphed, but there's one ability that can be a lot less telegraphed. His Shock Blast empowered by Acceleration Gate. The way the ability works is that it's supposed to be fired through the Acceleration Gate for it to be empowered, increasing the damage, projectile speed, and the AoE explosion of the ability. However, you don't actually need to fire it through the gate. You just need to tag the Shock Blast with the gate. Because the gate appears instantly, it has no cast time or animation, you can use the ability after the Shock Blast is already mid-flight, and it still gets empowered. If you cast the gate first and then cast Shock Blast, well, it results in a pretty long delay that can easily be reacted to, so you'll want to avoid doing that if your goal is to just fire out a Shock Blast at an enemy. Obviously, if you want to speed yourself or any allies up, you'd still want to use the gate first. By casting Shock Blast and then Acceleration Gate, it makes it a lot harder for your opponents to react. Mix in some regular Shock Blasts in between, and you'll have your opponent guessing your next move every time. Even landing one empowered Shock Blast is enough to chunk your opponent really hard and force them to back off or go back to base and heal. Empowered Shock Blasts are really powerful in lane when you fire them into the minion wave. You'll push the wave, sure, but the AoE is large enough to hit almost anything relatively close to the explosion, so nothing is really safe from it. This also applies to skirmishes, teamfights, and sieging. Normally, a tank will try and block the attacks for his team. Sometimes, though, the AoE will reach the squishies all the way in the back because it's so large, especially when they're not expecting the speed and the explosion of the instant empowered Shock Blast. Like I said, Jayce is a really versatile champion. There's a lot of really neat tricks you can do with him, and this is just one of the many. But arguably, this is one of the most useful ones, if not the most useful. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.